The time has come to play with Contours RX. Look at all of these goodies that I've got for us to try on and talk about and review what we think about them. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so much fun. Do not go anywhere. And at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you about an extra special discount opportunity not to be missed. So don't go anywhere. I'm Michelle from Michelle Fox Beauty, and I love to chat with women over 50, coming up with solutions that are simple and effective to our concerns regarding skincare and makeup. And one of my concerns has been my sagging lids. I actually talked to a plastic surgeon. Yes, I did. But when I found out the cost and the pain factor, I thought, let's see if there's a plan B out there. And ContoursRX was the first thing that I tried. I've actually done other videos on it. But after I did the video, I became an affiliate for ContoursRX. That's kind of my pattern. I try something, I love it so much. I find out if they have an affiliate program because I feel like, hey, I want to tell the world about it and I might as well get paid. So anyway, I was signed up as an affiliate with ContoursRX. They've been so awesome. They reached out to me a few different times and most recently said, you know, is there anything else that you want to try? Anything that we can do to support you and to show your audience some new products? And so I actually gave a list of 3 things. And I said, I'd love to try any one of these 3 things. Well, they not only sent me those 3 things, but they sent me even more than that and said, you know, try it, talk to your audience about it. We're having a Mother's Day special coming up. If you would mention that to them, that would be great. So that is why we're here. Okay. So we're going to try 2 different sizes of the eyelid strips, and I'll tell you a little story about why they are so radically different. My bad. Oh, we've got so many other fun things. I was curious about this color set pen, and I was interested in it as a primer, but it's also a highlight and concealer and all these other cool things. Then I saw this extended wear adhesive, and so I'm going to tell you how I'm using that. I got some really nice quality precision tweezers and even more things. So like we have just got so much to talk about. This is the after, but we're going to go back in time and we're going to start from scratch. And I'm going to show you how to apply them, what I love about them, and we'll walk you through the benefits of all of these different products. And at the tail end, we will talk about that special. All right, stick with me. All righty, so here we are. We're going to try 2 different sizes of the Contours RX eyelid tape. Is that what they call it? Instant eyelid correcting strips. So the first time that I took the quiz on their website, I must have been answering very conservatively because the recommended size for me was the number 2. Let me show you a whole sheet of those. So this is what a number 2 looks like. And they worked well. When I did it, I thought, I probably could have gone, you know, a little bit bigger. So when ContoursRX asked me, hey, what else do you want to try? Is there anything we could send you? I redid the quiz and I answered a little more radically, I guess, because this time it suggested number 6, which is significantly bigger. Let's see if I can find a whole sheet. Here we go. These are the number 6. All right, 2 versus 6. So what I'm going to do for you today is use the number 6 on my eye that is much droopier, and then put the number 2 on the eye that is not quite as droopy, because when this lid or the brow ever relaxes, then there is quite a bit of droop on that eye. So, you know, I'm for sure going to use them all. But I want to show you the 2 different sizes, how they are applied, and then how to use the adhesive to get extended wear. So a couple things that I really like. I like that it has this carrying case, something to keep it in or travel with. And then it always comes with a pair of plastic tweezers. And there's something about these plastic tweezers that makes it really easier, in my opinion, to get them off of that backing than like metal tweezers. That's just me. Plus, maybe it just has to do with that this is what I've been using. All right, let's get organized here. So, plastic tweezers. Number 6, worst eye. So you just grab along the edge, lift it off the tape, and apply it. Now, For some reason, when I do this on camera, I get it all cockeyed. So let me have a moment here to really try to concentrate, because it's very important that you get it in the right spot. Like even a little bit off to, one side or the other is going to make it look kind of weird. All right, that one I think is pretty good. So this one I have the number 6 on. You can tell already that it's opening my eye up more. And I'm not sure if you can see this. Let me get really super duper close. On the inside, let's see, listen. On the inside, you can tell that like on the very edge, it's like ever so slightly kind of pinched under. And I think that's because of how I grab it with the tweezers. And it hasn't really been an issue as far as getting them to last. But when I saw this other product that I'm going to show you in a second, I realized that would address that concern. All right, so now we're going to do the number 2 on my other lid. And like I mentioned, I can have a tendency to sort of grab it such that it turns the very edge over. So when I saw this product in their list of items, I wondered if that would help with that. So this is ContoursRX Extended Wear Adhesive, and it is similar to eyelash glue. You can use it for false eyelashes, but this is to help extend the wear of this eyelid tape. So some people may have oily lids and they need a little help to get things to stick, or maybe they want them to last more than 24 hours. So, but my thing was, I wondered if this would help me get the edges to lay down flat after I kind of messed them up. So you just put a little smidge on each edge. You don't have to put it all the way across. And it is white when you first put it on, but it does dry down to clear. So let's be extra careful here. So that, like I said, it starts out white, but it dries down clear. It's absolutely invisible, but it does give it a little more staying power. When I take it off at the end of the day, I can tell there's, it takes a little more oomph. but not a lot. That's one thing that's really fascinating to me, is that the adhesive lasts all day. I don't worry about it like flapping off or anything like that. But when it's time for it to come off, it comes off without, pulling on the skin of my lid excessively. So it's really pretty fascinating. So I do think that this adhesive makes a difference. And as a side note, I'm very sensitive to lash glue. I've had reactions to lash glue in the past, and this has not caused any problems. No itching, no irritation, nothing like that. So if lash glue has been a problem for you, you're looking for one that is for sensitive skin or sensitive eyes, you might want to give this one a try. So let's see. So we've tried 2 sizes of the lid adhesive. We tried the extended wear adhesive. Some other goodies that I got. ContoursRX sent me their precision tweezers, and they really are probably the skinniest tips that I've ever worked with. Like when they say precision, they're not joking. So this is great for just really tiny, fragile hairs that you have a hard time grabbing with any other set of tweezers. This is sold as a set of 2. They're 2 different sizes. And so this is really, really nice if you're looking for some great tweezers. But the last but not least, and then I might talk about a bonus item. Help me remember that. All right. The item that I was most excited to try is this color set. Let me get my glasses back on so I can say it right. Color set all-in-one pencil. It says that it primes, highlights, brightens, contours, and conceals. What I wanted it for was to prime my eyes for my eyeshadow. And we've talked about this before, and I did try an eye primer the eye primer that I typically use, and it did work, but I was just curious, since this is made specifically for this, how is this going to impact how my eyeshadow applies and blends and stays? So, but people use this for all of those things. I see most people demo it as a highlight, which so you can totally do that. Like I said, I'm just all about using it as an eye primer. So what we're going to do, let's see, I'm going to use the eye primer on this lid only, the one with the larger strip. This one we'll leave bare, and then we'll apply some shadow and see if it makes a difference. A couple things that I observed. One is that it goes on very thick and very white. When I first put this on, I really thought in my heart of hearts, there's no way I'm going to like this, because I just thought that if it goes on that white, it's going to impact the look of my shadow in a way that I don't want it to. But what I ended up doing was sort of buffing it out a little bit with my finger. And I was really surprised that this is a really powdery feel. Like I thought it would be waxy and pretty much hard to move or shift or adjust, but it's very powdery soft. And so I was able to sort of buff it out a little bit. So there's the lid with the primer. This lid has nothing. So let's grab some shadow and see what happens. My objective here, I want the shadow to adhere as much to that adhesive strip as it does to the rest of my lid. I want there to be color payoff so you can see it. I want it to last all day and blend with the rest of the eyeshadows that I choose to apply. So let's see what's what. So yesterday when I did this, I was using a sponge tip applicator, and I just had like a little sample card of shadow. And there was a huge difference, but I think it had something to do with the fact that I was using a sponge tip. Today I'm using an actual eyeshadow brush. I'm using a Tarte palette. This is sort of a medium brown matte shade. It's a mid-tone shade. I'm going to put it all over my lid, including on that strip. So what I want to see happening is that the color is adhering to that strip, which it is, and the rest of my lid, which it is, because I'm using this in place of my traditional eye primer, which lately I've been using MAC 24-hour Prep and Prime. So to me, that gave a nice deposit of color. Let's just compare it to the side that doesn't have anything on it and see if it makes a difference. Using the same shade, same brush, same technique. Should put a little more on there. When I look at it, I can see a difference. I don't know if the bright lights are going to impact it or not, but I feel like this eye definitely grabbed the color better. Is it significantly better than my traditional eye primer? I'm not sure. I guess that would have to be the next test, do them, side by side. But I think since I know that I am wearing these with eyeshadow, if I were to try this, if I was just doing this for the first time and ordering these, I think I would go ahead and order this with it, because it definitely, in my opinion, and looking at it in real light, this held onto the color better, and it helped hold onto it on the strip. Let me get closer to you. Like this strip, you can see the strip, but there's hardly any shadow on it. This strip, the shadow is clinging to it better. All right. So now, and I know when I'm close with my eyes like this, you can see the strips. I know that, but that's not how you walk around. When your eyes are relaxed, you really don't see them. Can you see them? I think if you're looking for it, you can. But I haven't had anybody in my life notice them. And my family's pretty honest. Mom, what have you got on your eyes? Nobody has said that. So I think it makes a difference. What do you think? All right, I'm gonna finish my eyes, put a whole look together. You know what? Maybe what I'll do, I'll put some of the MAC on this side and see if we see a difference. All right, hold that thought. I'll be back. All right, so I'm back. So let me explain the breakdown here. This is the side that I used the color set from ContoursRX, and it definitely helps the color cling and look more prominent. I mean, better color payoff. You can tell that this is a bigger piece of adhesive. You can see it more than you can see this over here. I think I went too big on this because even when my eyes relax, I feel like you can still see it more than this one, like significantly more. So that's part of what you're seeing here is that I'm using the wrong size. But if you don't have a primer that you love, I think that go ahead and get the color set. Now this side, I'm using my MAC primer. I have a smaller adhesive, and it also helps the color cling and blend and everything. It looks definitely better than without any primer at all. I always use primer. So if you have a primer that you love and you're going to use eyeshadow with these eye adhesives, then I would say go ahead and use your primer that you love. If you don't have a primer and you are going to put on eyeshadow, I think that you want to try the color set. And if you don't wear makeup at all, don't worry about this kind of thing. But for sure, try these eyelid adhesive strips. Now this, yeah, that is just too big. I answered that quiz wrong. This one, really, you can barely see. That's the number 2. Number 6. Probably should have gone with number 3 or 4. But anyway, do I think that these contour eyelid strips work? I really do. I really, really do. And I've had lots of friends reach out and tell me that they've used them as well. They agree there's a learning curve, that it takes a minute to figure out exactly where it needs to be placed. If you don't place it quite right, it can look a little funny. But I think especially for Zoom meetings or anything on video or pictures, that this, you can't beat it. I mean, it really helps to even out your eyes, and it is not noticeable from a distance. If you're going to use it in everyday life, then you really want to make sure you're answering that quiz conservatively, like I did the first time around, and make sure that you get the right size. But once you get the right size, I think that you'll be really, really happy with them. And as far as their adhesive, I thought that was a great product as well. So I've been using this for a few days, and usually if I use any kind of eyelash glue, by that night my eyes are really irritated, and the next day there's other issues. Either my eyes are puffy or swollen or red or something, and I have not been experiencing that. The tweezers are top quality. Everything that I've tried has been a real pleasure. Okay, now that brings me to the last one. So I did a little bonus one. So at one point when I ordered some Contours RX, I got there was something in my package that said, scan this to claim your free neck rescue. And so I thought, oh, it's free. I have tried and tried and tried to get this to work, and I cannot. That doesn't mean that you couldn't. It doesn't mean that others haven't. But when I look at the reviews, it's like it's either very, very positive or very, very negative. And so I'm sure it's going to have to do with how you are trying to apply it and all kinds of things. But let me at least, break down how it's supposed to work. In theory, I think I loved the idea. Okay. So as our neck starts to sag and get wrinkly and everything, just, I think we've all done this before. Just to see what the improvement that would make. And so that's what this does, is that the adhesive is quite strong. You're gonna have to put your hair up, and if you have any hair that's down low, you probably want to take a razor to that. You take off one side of the adhesive, and you apply it to the back of your neck. And then while the other thingamajig is still on, you're like pinching your neck with your fingers, and then you apply the other side of the adhesive. And so, the idea is this. And I've seen people that have used it successfully. And then I think if you have hair long enough to cover it, you really can't tell that you've done anything like that. So it's like the perfect solution if you can get it to work. I could not, I don't know why, no matter how hard I tried, by the time that I pulled my neck firm enough to see a difference, and then I, put the other sticky side on, it was pulling so hard it couldn't hold. So that might have been part of the problem is I need too much of a lift. I don't know. But there's lots of contributing factors, how oily your skin is, if there's any hair sticking to it, where you're positioning it, all that kind of stuff. So this is something that you would have to try on your own. For me, I've tried it at least 5 times. Can't quite figure it out. I've got a whole lot left, so I'll probably keep trying. But if you've had success with these, if you could post a before and after, that would be amazing. But just let us know what your thoughts on the neck rescue. So here are my thoughts after trying all of those products. When I'm looking straight at you, I think that this looks pretty good. Problem is, as soon as I look down, the strips are very, very obvious, even with the primer, even with the makeup and everything. Basically, I think if I didn't have any makeup on, they would be very difficult to see. But with the makeup, you can see them. Okay, so here we go. Uh, One of the problems is that I got too large of a size. So if you ignore this one and just look at this one, it's really not super bad. But honestly, if I did not have any makeup on, I don't think that you would notice it. I'm quite sure you would not notice it at all. With my makeup on, I'm thinking that if I'm doing a video or getting my picture taken, or I'm in a Zoom meeting and I'm looking straight ahead, I think that it's fine. Nobody's going to notice it. So there are some things you have to ask yourself. I think that if you are using the eyelid adhesive strips with no makeup, I think that they definitely, I know they work as far as giving your eyes some lift. They last, they don't come off. They are basically invisible unless you try to put on your makeup. With the makeup, I've tried it several different ways. I've tried it without any primer, with the primer that they provide, with a different kind of primer that I've used in the past, different things. I think bottom line, in real life, it's going to show. Again, don't look at this one. I think it's going to show, but for media, I think it would be fine. You may feel like, I don't care if it shows, I'm so insecure. Here's the thing. I am very insecure about the fact that my eyes are so uneven. And if that is giving me, making me feel more secure because it's evening out my eyes, then maybe I don't care if somebody sees that there's something that's there. I don't know. Everybody's going to feel a little bit differently about it. But I know that they work. They work especially if you're not wearing makeup. If you are wearing makeup, I think it's great for media. In real life, you're going to have to make that decision yourself. The primer pencil, the color set pencil, I think that did what it claimed it was going to do, but I'll probably end up using it more as a highlight pencil. The glue worked really well. It definitely gave it more staying power and it did not irritate my eyes. The precision tweezers were amazing, great quality. The neck strips I struggled with. That's just me, okay? Everybody's going to be different. My takeaway is that it's a great company. They've been great to work with. And I think that this is a really smart concept. A lot of people have been helped with it. You may as well try it. As far as whether you should or shouldn't wear makeup with them, I'd like to hear your thoughts on them. And the other thing is, we've all got different stages of droopiness, so that's going to affect how it looks too. And like I said, the fact that I got one size way too big, this one is really too big for me, so that is not helping. And it could just be the light, my big light. All right, let's turn off the light and see what happens. All right, so the ring light is off, but I have so the ring light's off. I have an overhead light on. And so let's see. So this one is still really obvious, but this one is not quite as obvious. So it might just be that bright light. So I think bottom line, if this seems like something that would help you, you're going to have to try it. You're going to have to try it. Give yourself some time to figure out the position of it and take some pictures, ask people that you're close to, is this too obvious? What do you think? But it will make your eyes look bigger, brighter, more open. It will help even out uneven eyes. I have no doubt about that. The question is, are you comfortable with whether people can see it or not? There is a fantastic Mother's Day special. So that's what I want to talk about next. So get excited. Okay, so here's the deal. ContoursRX is offering up to 25% off site wide. There are mix and match bundles where you get up to 25% off of 5 items. But in addition to that, there is a stackable code, MOM10, for an additional 10% off the entire order. So you are getting the 25% off and then an additional 10% off. Plus $130 in free gifts when customers spend $150, and that is including gift certificates. So that is one of the best specials I've seen online. So the 25% off, an additional 10% off, and a huge free gift with purchase. So here's my thought. Here's my radical thought. I have never bought myself a Mother's Day gift. I don't think ever. But I don't think that's wrong. I was thinking about, okay, so how would I buy these for my mom? Like, it almost seems like, hey, mom, you got droopy lids here. Let me get you these eye strips, these adhesives. I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe no. I think a gift certificate is a wonderful idea, but I would perhaps justify buying them for myself because it's Mother's Day and because there's that huge sale and an additional 10% off and a free gift with purchase. So if you've ever been hemming and hawing on the fence about whether to try Contours RX, this is the time. So go to their website, check it out. I've got links provided in the description of the video, but for sure, set your calendar, but mark your calendar for the 7th, May 7th, because from May 7th on, I'm guessing it ends on Mother's Day. Maybe it goes beyond that, but from May 7th through Mother's Day, at least, they've got the 25% off. That I don't know if that's only on the bundles, but I know that there are bundles that you can get up to 5 different kits, 25% off, then an additional 10% off with the MOM10 promo code. So really, really good time to try ContoursRX. I've had a really great experience with all of the products that I've tried. Really, the only one I've struggled with, like I said, is the neck rescue, and it's probably user error. That is typically what the issue is when it comes to me. So if you've ever tried it, I want to hear in the comments. If you got anything out of this video or made you think of somebody that might want to try them, be sure that you share this video with them, give it a thumbs up. Have you subscribed to Michelle Fox Beauty? I sure hope you do so that we can stay in touch. I like to come on and talk to women 50s, 60s, 70s, beyond about the challenges and frustrations and solutions that we find regarding our skin and our makeup and just our frame of mind. As we enter these golden years, it feels good, doesn't it, to talk to other people going through the same thing and to just say, there's nothing wrong with saying, I'm struggling. I don't love everything that I'm experiencing as I age. That's okay. I'm grateful to be aging. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful for the wonderful things in my life. But there are struggles and disappointments and challenges. And I think that it's very healing to be able to talk about it in a forum like this. And so that's what I'm here for. And as I discover solutions, I like to share them. And of course, as you discover solutions, I hope that you will share them with me as well. So thanks so much for your time and attention. I look forward to seeing you again when we continue this conversation. I'll see you then.